All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakadash. Double honors to all the elders and apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and shalom to my fellow Akim that taught me this truth and they're pushing the truth with all honesty and sincerity. Shalom. And hey, man, we here. All right, there's a new strand of this thing that's came out and it's caused the UK to lock down. And when I say this thing, everyone should know what it is we're dealing with now, man. And unless you're just a total demon in the world and under a rock, So we're going to try to keep, the algorithms away and keep what we say limited, man. I'm really thinking about moving over to brand new tube. I actually been trying to find the app for it. It won't pull up in my Play Store or whatever, but because they're censoring everything over here, man. All right, and I got a longer video that I'm gonna play predicting that a new strand of this thing would come out months ago, man. This video was I want to say in October, and they were predicting that this thing would come out. It might even been before October. I'm trying to think. Probably like around that time. But it's with Dr. Rashad. But this first video that we're going to get into is going into the England or UK rather, the UK lockdown due to the new strand and mutation of this thing, man. So hopefully this video is edifying. Just gonna go over some videos, some articles, and some scriptures, man. This video, fair warning, this video might be longer than the normal 20 minutes that I normally do, So it is what it is.
It seems that the spread is now being driven by the new variant of the virus, which we spoke about earlier this week. There's still much that we don't know. It's getting out of control, isn't it? The amount of cases are going up and up and up.
It was a tense moment on the bus. We were all waiting. We were told that there was no way we could enter Germany. I'm a resident here. I've been here for 3 years. I'm a teacher, and it looked pretty bad. But when I went and spoke to another police officer, they let us through. So I don't know what everybody else is doing, but it was a pretty awful moment.
And you're looking at all these people that have been stranded at the bus stop. They can't go into other countries because UK has a ban. And I just did a video on that on Second Esdras 15 yesterday. Really going into the cancellation of the Christmas. At this time, that strand, Dabu 7 had reported there was a strand of this last week, but it wasn't a major thing in the headlines. And now it's becoming a major thing just that fast overnight. And you can bet your dollar that it's here already in Babylon or America, man. Okay, and so you see a lot of these people stranded at these train stations, at these airports. They can't get into these different countries, man. And that goes right back into Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, man. Let's grab it, man. Let's grab it because we are definitely in those times, man. I think it's like I'd say 25. I think it's like around 11 or 14. Let's see. Actually, let's just view it. That's not it. But it says war into the world and them that dwell therein. That's right, man. War into the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able. And there you go, man. All right. and it's only gonna intensify and increase, man. So here you have this first batch of the needle that's came out, and they're already saying that it's gonna be able to compete against this mutated one. Okay, just take it with a grain of salt, man. We understand, the men of the Lord understand and know what it is, because we say too much on here, man. These damn algorithms are gonna pick up everything, man. Okay, but what you're seeing is the ushering in of this man's new system, man. This man's new world order. Okay, but the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has a different plan for him, man.
When I came home, they told me like they might close the border from this evening at midnight. So we can't basically go back to France and spend Christmas with our families. So we don't know what to do. So now we watch the news and they say they're only gonna close the border for 48 hours. So it's so confusing.
I think that everyone is kind of angry because we were in London and nobody tell us nothing. They tell, okay, you can take the plane and then if you have a negative test, it's okay, but if you have, otherwise you will self-isolated. So I think that quite everyone here will think to self-isolated, but yeah, it's quite incredible.
When we got here, it seemed a bit like no one really knew what to do with us. So we were waiting for quite a long time. There was some talk of having to stay overnight and getting tested in the morning.
See, that's what they're gonna start doing. Testing and checkpoints and hauling niggas away, man. That's what's gonna happen. That was pretty much it on that video. Let's get into Job, man. Actually, let's go. We all know this, Job 9:24. We know this, man. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Well, who's doing this, man? Who's behind this? All right, this is a global wide thing, man. All right, we know and understand who's pulling the strings, who's behind this, man, and that's the man of sin, man. Okay, going back into 2 Thessalonians, the 3rd chapter, man. All right, he's being revealed. His wickedness and his plans are being revealed, man. And we're going to get into go back and forth into Job, the 20th chapter. I actually want to read up more on that because this is a good chapter. Job, we'll start at 4. Job at 20 and 4. Knowest thou not that this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. That which have seen him shall say, where is he? And that's what's going to be this man's end. All right. Right now, his excellencies is mounting up to the heavens, man. All right. His sin is reaching, his judgment is reaching to the skies, like Jeremiah says, man. All right. He's setting up his quote unquote new world order or his enterprise right now, man. But as we continue to read down, you're going to see the Lord is going to foil that plan, man. All right. So let's see here. I think it was this one. Let's try this one.
So again, both vaccines, the Russian one and the British one, they have faced their fair share of criticism. For instance, the Russian vaccine has been criticized over what some saw as not very transparent process of testing. They have been saying that there weren't that many people in the first phase of clinical trials and so on and so forth. The British vaccine, AstraZeneca's vaccine, in its own turn, has been criticized over its efficacy, essentially. And again, they have faced some criticism because they weren't very transparent in releasing the details as to how efficient their jab is. Essentially, right now, the average efficacy of AstraZeneca's vaccine sits at around 70%. So this is what they're hoping to improve by, well, combining the two different formulas and, playing around with them. Such cooperation was promoted and backed.
What? Is that not madness? Is that not madness, man? This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Joe, we'll move down to let me see here. Yeah, we'll go down to 11. Joe 11, 12 and 20 and 11. His bones are full of sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. And they're hiding under their tongue with their policies, okay, with their legislations and their bills and the decrees that they're getting ready to bring down, man. All right. And the men of the Lord are, and you have a few other people that are waking up and starting to see this, man. Okay, you got people that are waking up and starting to see that, okay, hey, man, some shit ain't right. Something ain't going on, But then you have some that are gonna be all out with this shit, man. And and at the end, ultimately, that's the judgment, man, right?
Act by the Russian president himself, Vladimir Putin, as he was giving his annual media conference just a couple of days ago, which I was there. He spoke repeatedly about how the world should unite and how different producers of different vaccines, they should cooperate more. This is what he's been talking.
All right, no, that's enough for now.
Dear Best Buy, me and old Betsy here want to get ourselves an LG OLED TV for the man cave.
From headlines on vaccines to now mutated virus leading to a lockdown, are we staring at pandemic 2.0? Not fear-mongering, just stating the facts. Look at the trends and numbers. What we face right now is an advanced and scarier...
Salakia, y'all, I gotta pause it real quick. All right, Salakia, y'all, I had to make sure I had enough memory to record this video in case it's longer, which is heading that way. So I'm rewinding back about 10 seconds to where she was talking about no panic or whatnot.
Pandemic 2.0. Not fear-mongering, just stating the facts. Look at the trends and numbers. What we face right now is an advanced and scarier version of the Wuhan virus. And what we're entering is a new phase of the pandemic. Let's begin with the numbers. As of 21st of December, the total number of Wuhan virus cases the world over is well above 77 million. The deaths, more than 1.7 million. Two countries have recorded more than 10 million cases, the United States and India. But the country making the headlines now is the United Kingdom. What's happening there? The mutation of the Wuhan virus. A new version has emerged that spreads faster. As we said, mutations are normal. All viruses mutate all the time. The Wuhan virus has also been mutating all over the world. There are at least 4,000 variants of the Wuhan virus. Experts say the mutation began in China. New strains of the virus have been seen across the world. The strain found in Britain is called the 6th.
So if it mutates all the time and there's been all types of strains across the world, how can you exactly say what I don't know what the word to use. What remedy would work, Which remedy are you working, putting it towards which virus? If it mutates, if it's 300 different types of mutations, wouldn't you have to come up with 300 different types of solutions? I mean, I don't know. And viruses mutate because they're man-made.
6970 deletion, meaning this variant has missing letters in the genetic code. The strain was picked up in Danish minks too. It was also found in Thailand and Germany and then in England. So what does this mutation mean for you and me? Question number one, is the mutated virus scarier? Yes and no. Data so far does not raise the mortality rate or the risk of severe illness. But, yes, there is a but, the mutated virus found in the UK spreads faster.
New variant, not
Which is exactly what they want. Now they're getting ready to ramp things up. And now we're going to go to this video with Dr. His name is Dr. Rashad. This is actually a really good video, man. And we're going to start around like the 29-minute mark. And it's going to be a little lengthy. I'm going to run it about 10 minutes, and I'm going to be going back and forth with a few scriptures jumping in, man. Okay, because this is what this Salaki, this is what this man wanted. All right, this is part of their plan. This is part of their agenda, man. The quote unquote new order. And this is 2nd Esdras 16 and 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not they return again until they come up upon the earth? The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. And that's going into the Lord's judgment, man. Okay, the plagues and the fire, that's judgment, man. And they won't be killed until it's done. The Lord has done his job and completed his will, fulfilled his will. Like an arrow which is shot at a mighty archer, turneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth should not return again. All right, once they're out, man. Okay, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And this is Esdras seeing that, man, because he knew that he would be reincarnated and back in those times, man. Okay, the beginning of sorrow and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What are we going to do? We're going to call upon the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Right? The Lord is a strong tower, like the scriptures say, man. Behold, the famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And you niggas are not, man. You niggas are still going to be wicked, evil out there, even though the men of the Lord have been telling you all along that these days and this time is coming, man.
Seeing if you're seeing. All right, so you guys are actually seeing. And I want you to understand why I'm reading it. I'm reading it so that we can all become prepared. I am not a person prone to violence. I do not like to engage in violence or in aggressive activity, but many times people that encounter an individual like me who doesn't want to engage mistake my reluctance to engage with my inability to engage. And so I'm here to tell you that each one of you should be prepared to engage. That doesn't mean that we are expecting to engage, but we need to be prepared, because what I'm going to read to you right now is not something that is, it doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies, okay? So first of all, to Denise, thank you for sharing this, Denise. And I love it when people send me messages and they come into the system. She has our lifetime member number there. So I really appreciate that for a lifetime member for IADFW. Guys, by the way, this is one of the few times that I'm going to do something that I was going to just do for the IADFW, and I'm going to do that for everybody else, because this is really important information. But if this type of information and this type of connection is important to you, there's a lot of other really, really positive, proactive things in the International Association for a Disease-Free World. And I would really encourage you to go down to askdrbuttar.com /ask, that link right there, and just go through it, fill in that information, join the Advanced Medicine Dashboard, get access to the head map. All this stuff is for free, but then consider seriously joining the International Association for a Disease-Free World. There's actually a little webinar that you can watch on demand when you go to this link. All right, when you go to that link, there's a little video. It'll be down maybe, I don't know, the 8th, 9th, 10th screen, and it'll say the IADFW. And if you watch that, you'll understand why you should join. And if you don't want to join, that's great. But I think those that are freedom-loving and believe in their own autonomy, they're going to want to join. All right, so here's a message. This was a leaked email from the Liberal Party of Canada that lays out the plan. It's LPC Strategic Committee, Leak in Box, PC Leaker, okay? This occurred on October 10th, 2020. Dear, and then it's a blank, it's X'd out because this was an email that was sent to somebody else to let them know, because the person that wrote this email was present, was there, firsthand heard this. I want to provide you some very important information. I'm a committee member within the Liberal Party of Canada. I sit within several committee groups, but the information I'm providing is originating from the Strategic Planning Committee, which is steered by the PMO. I think the PMO is that the Prime Minister of Canada? I think PMO must be, I don't know what PMO is. Maybe somebody can tell me what PMO is. Can you look up what PMO is in the Canadian Liberal Party? Okay. I need to start off by saying that I'm not happy doing this, but I have to. As a Canadian, and more importantly, as a parent who wants a better future, not only for my children, but for other children as well. The other reason I am doing this is because roughly 30% of the committee members are not pleased with the direction this will take Canada. But our opinions have been ignored and they plan on moving forward toward their goals. They have also made it very clear that nothing will stop the planned outcomes. So 30% of the Liberal Party in Canada that was sitting on this committee did not want to go along with this, and yet the powers that be are saying that they don't have a choice. Wrong answer. We always have a choice, all right? In the United States, we are still, the Second Amendment is intact, and in Canada...
You don't have a choice. The Lord's will be done, man. Period, point blank.
I know there's enough people out there that still have their weapons, no matter what they've tried to orchestrate and take your weapons away. Guys, just remember, when you are carrying, when you have your own weapons, now suddenly you are no longer easy fodder. And they're going to think once, twice, 3 times before they ever try to cross horns with you, okay? Because they don't want to engage with people. If they don't have anything that they can lose, then they may. So this is why it's so important to be prepared and expect the best, but be prepared for the worst. So here's what it comes down to. The roadmap and aim was set out by the PMO and is as follows. And I hate looking down when I'm reading this, so let me see if I can read it this way. All right. Phase in secondary lockdown restrictions on a rolling basis, starting with major metropolitan areas first and expanding outward.
This is in Canada. Secondary lockdown conditions in a metropolitan area.
By November 2020. Next one, rush the acquisition of or construction of isolation facilities across every province and territory, expected by December 2020. These are concentration camps they're talking about.
And I did a video on the concentration camps in Canada. All right.
Daily new cases of COVID-19 will surge beyond capacity of testing. Interesting that they already know that they're going to surge, right?
We see that right now. Okay, keep in mind that this video was, it says 2 months ago, but I believe it might have been a little longer than that. Even still, this Canadian committee members reading a letter of the agenda that wanted to be pushed 2 months ago, and now we're starting to see that come through, even as well as a new strand of this shit that's coming out.
Why? Because they know that if there is such a virus out there, assuming that there's a real virus out there, the testing is already going, it's already predetermined. They're testing, they're attenuating, they're basically amplifying the RT-PCR test to the point that every human being will test positive. That's what their goal is. All right, so the new daily new cases of COVID will surge beyond capacity of testing, including increases in COVID-related deaths following the same growth curves, expected by end of November 2020. Complete and total secondary lockdown, much stricter than the first and second rolling phase restrictions, expected by end of December 2020, early January 2021. Reform and expansion.
And we see that getting ready to come to a head.
Of the unemployment program to be transitioned into the universal basic income program, expected by Q1 2021. Projected COVID-19 mutation and or co-infection with secondary virus referred to as COVID-21, leading to a...
I want to rewind it a little bit.
By Q1 2021. Projected COVID-19 mutation and or co-infection with secondary virus referred to as COVID-21, leading to a third wave with much higher mortality rate and higher rate of infection expected by February 2021. Daily new cases of COVID-21 hospitalizations and...
All right, what did he said was basically a government assistance package for the unemployment, which is what America's dealing with in the whole stimulus shit. You're going to see them keep kicking the can and giving you monthly stipends for those who don't work, but you have to conform.
COVID-19 and COVID-21 related deaths will exceed medical facility capacities expected by by Q1, Q2 of 2021. Enhanced lockdown restrictions, referred to as third lockdown, will be implemented. Full travel restrictions will be imposed, including inter-province and intercity, expected by Q2 2021. Guys, understand that. That means that if you're in British Columbia, you can't go to Quebec. All right. This is what they're talking about. And if you're in one city and you're trying to go into another city in the same province, they're not going to allow you to do that.
There we go.
Canada, of course.
A man showed desire to go into another city, but should not be able.
They're going to try to roll this out, and I'll get to that point here in a second. All right. Transitioning of individuals into the Universal Basic Income Program.
Universal Basic Income.
Q2 2021. Projected supply chain breakdowns in inventory storage, large economic instability, all expected late second quarter 2021.
Projected inventory breakdowns. All right, that's the famine, the manufactured famine that they want to put on the people. Okay, this is a very credible video, man. Like, keep in mind, again, this was 2 months ago, and it's holding weight, man. It's holding weight because we see a lot of this shit happening now.
Deployment of military personnel into major metropolitan areas, as well as all major roadways to establish travel checkpoints.
Martial law.
Travel and movement, provide logistical support to the area, expected by third quarter 2021. Along with that provided roadmap, the Strategic Planning Committee was asked to design an effective way of transitioning Canadians to meet an unprecedented economic endeavor, one that would change the face of Canada and forever alter the lives of Canadians. All right, guys, this is where it gets really disturbing, as if it's not already disturbing. What we are told was that in order to offset what was essentially an economic collapse on an international scale, that the federal government was going to offer Canadians a total debt relief. So people are getting excited about that. That sounds good, but wait. This is how it works. The federal government will offer to eliminate all personal debts, all mortgages, all loans, all credit cards, etc., which all funding will be provided to Canada by the IMF under what will become known as the World Debt Reset Program. In exchange for acceptance of this total debt forgiveness, the individual would forfeit ownership of any and all property and assets forever. In exchange for acceptance of this total debt forgiveness, the individual would forfeit ownership of any and all property and assets forever. The individual would also have to agree to partake in the COVID-19 and COVID-21 vaccination schedule, which will provide the individual with unrestricted travel and unrestricted living, even under a full lockdown. So if you agree, you can go do anything you're doing as long as you partake in the COVID-19 and COVID-21 vaccination schedule, regardless of the lockdown. Magically, you take this vaccine and boom, guess what? You don't have to social distance. You don't have to wear a mask anymore because you have already gotten your vaccines. All right? So this is unrestricted living even under a full lockdown through the use of a photo identification referred to as Canada's Health Pass.
All right. Health Pass. So we're going to stop it there. And you see right here, this was an article from Zero Hedge, and this was last week. And we see the word. It says passports and health passes is showing your papers the new normal. It says, at least in what governments, corporations, and their mainstream propaganda media outlets have been insistently arguing. Interestingly, the development of the Maxine Waters was warp speed, allegedly at his behest of the Trump administration. Warp speed also took place in other countries like the UK, where shots have been administered. This information has caused some to question whether the Maxine Waters was ready long before announcement was made, or indeed before the pandemic ever began. And we know it was, man. We know it was. So let me see here. In case you're living under a rock, for the past several weeks, here are several instances where the public discussion has centered around the idea of Maxine Waters' passport or immunity passport or general blockage and sanctioning of anyone not willing to take, you see the word, all right. Chief Medical Officer of Health for Ontario, David, here we are in Canada, right? David Williams recently stated that the individuals who refuse Maxine Waters might face some limits. Some of the limits he suggested include not being able to enter a hospital or nursing home without showing proof of having been Maxine Waters, without personal protective equipment, man. All right. We're not going to read the whole article, but look, man. Okay, let's just go down into the travel. It says ITA travel pass expected to launch in early 2021. IATA travel pass is currently under development by the International Transport Association. So we see what's going on, man. Okay, we see what's going on. We see the agenda, and look, man. At least we Satan should get advantage if we are not ignorant of his devices, man.
Committee members asked who would become the owner of the forfeited property and assets in that scenario, and what would happen to lenders or
I just have a few more minute markers, and then we'll end this out, man.
We were simply told the World Debt Reset Program will handle all of the details. So when they were asked what happens to the property and what happens to the banks, don't worry about it, we're going to take care of it. That's what they were told. All right. And now it gets really, really interesting. Wow. Committee members asked who would become, I read that. Several committee members also questioned what would happen to individuals if they refused to participate in the World Debt Reset Program or the Health Pass or the vaccination schedule. The answer we got was very troubling. Essentially, we were told it was our duty to make sure we come up with a plan, meaning the Liberal Party was told that it was their duty to come up with a plan to ensure that would never happen. We were told it was in the individual's best interest to participate.
Mm-hmm.
When several committee members
in the individual's best option to participate. This is Revelations 13th chapter. And we're going to start around the 11th verse. And I behold another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And we go into that word all the time. Dragon means harsh or strict laws, after the Greek lawman Dracon. Okay, and he exercises all the powers of the first beast before him. Okay, and this beast that's coming up is America. All right, and the beast before him was Rome, man. All right, and he caused of the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Okay, and that's the image of Rome. Okay, and he does great wonders, so he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man. All right, and that's his miracles that he's deceiving the world with, showing himself to be the Most High. All right, and he deceived them that dwell on earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast which had wound by a sword and did live. And that's Rome again, man. Okay, and that image is the ancient Rome philosophy. Okay, that's the image of the beast, man. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and it's speaking now, man. Okay, the image of the beast is speaking now. The New World Order, the NWO, man. All right, their philosophies. Okay, one world, everything, man. All right, and cause them that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, meaning that you don't follow these philosophies, you're not with the New World Order, you're going to be put to death, man. Okay, Simple as that. They're not gonna deal with you, man. All right. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, say that he have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of the beast. And we can see this is what's getting ready to roll, man. This is what's getting ready to happen next, man. All right. The RFID microchip, man. All right. Hopefully this lesson's edified. I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harak HaKadosh. Shalom.